Welcome to DWade Sports, everybody. I have a page printout. I have 8 of them that include all the NBA prop bets. Not really all of them, but one per team, as written by Ananth Pandian over at CBS Sports. Big fan of CBS Sports NBA content of recent. And it includes a prop bet for each team. There's a lot of different prop bets you can make throughout this entire season. We've done a few of them on the channel beforehand, some with Andre about over-under for win totals. But the 5 I wanted to pick out are highlighted for multiple reasons. For one, it has to do with some storylines that we don't talk about as much. And we're going to do another clip in the NBA landscape that is also related to storylines that we don't talk about as much. And, of course, some that I agree with, some that I disagree with. So we're going to get to the first one, which has to do with DWade and the Chicago Bulls. DWade over under 67.5 total games played. I chose this not because of the games played. I think he'll play more than 67.5 games. I think you shouldn't be betting on over-unders for players playing an amount of games ever because it's a shot in the dark. Even the most reliable, durable player can go down for an entire season, and even the guy who's most injury-prone can end up playing 75 games.
Right, you're forgetting some important math on that one. That is over-under 65 total games played divided by 2 knees that are not going to last as long as they used to.
That's true, but the thing is, with minutes management and how DWade plays his NBA career going forward, he might not be playing 40 minutes a game, 36 minutes a game. My feeling is he'll be doing it for 30 in a new-look Bulls. But the reason I chose the DWade prop bet is because the Bulls are one of the biggest wild cards going into this NBA season. We don't know what that offense really is going to look like until tip-off happens. I don't think they play on Tuesday. They play Wednesday, though. And with Rondo, Jimmy Butler, DWade, the joke prop bet, which I've been making, and of course other sources have now begun to pick it up, will any of them hit a shot longer than 18 feet? Maybe, maybe not. However, it's Jimmy Butler's team, and that's part of the reason I chose the prop bet, because I don't think DWade's the X factor until they start getting into the playoffs. I think that his leadership and what he can show Jimmy Butler and how that's going to help his career is going to be a major, major improvement upon the Bulls system. But what I do know is there's not one coach on the hot seat more so than Fred Hoiberg. Because if it doesn't work out, and we're talking 25 games in the season, Hoiberg's gone. He ain't going to be making it to the All-Star break if they don't start off at least with a 500 record. But again, don't discredit DWade's leadership. I think he plays more than 67.5 games. I also think the Bulls can win at least half their games going into the All-Star break. Because we've talked about this with Francis before, with Ja'Cory before. That's a team of winners. In general, they know how to win, which is one of the Jenk arguments. They're not losers, they're winners, which is Ben Menk always points out. Next prop bet, which is probably the funniest one on the entire list. Will Tristan Thompson still be dating Khloe Kardashian at the end of the regular season? The easiest bet you can make? No, of course not. But here's, they say regular season. I was going to say, the one that you might want to be, that the lock of the year is through the playoffs. Because, remember, we have the LeBron James system, which is the zero dark 23. He goes off social media altogether. Some of his teammates follow him. And let's be real here, the Kardashians have careers because of social media. So Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson won't make it to the playoffs. However, will they make it to the end of the regular season? Also, no. The season is long, 82 games, grueling. They haven't been dating during the regular season just yet. So now that the workload is about to pick up for Tristan Thompson, he's going to be on the road, he's going to be here and there. Not going to happen, Ja'Cory.
The most important thing Tristan Thompson can do is navigate his career to stay with Khloe Kardashian.
Really?
The Kardashian empire is growing strong, man. That is a brand that if you have any chance to get behind it. Socially, whatever, their social antics, give or take. Okay. But financially, the Kardashian empire we are looking at the beginning of a dynasty.
Do you think if they were to get married, Tristan should take her last name?
Absolutely.
Tristan Kardashian.
Absolutely. I would absolutely. If I had the chance to marry a Kardashian, I would get Kardashian tatted on my back like a jersey. Like, are you kidding me? I'm telling you, we're watching the beginning of a dynasty.
I would love to see the hyphenated last name, Ja'Cory Palmer Kardashian.
We'll be super progressive with it. Palmashian.
Right. Sounds like the holiday, the church holiday, like Ash Wednesday.
Palm Sunday, Ash Wednesday. Exactly. Combine both of those.
Creating a new religion here on DWade Sports.
Glorious Ja'Cory's, baby.
No way that lasts. Next prop bet. By the way, if that does last, that's the one I'm going to get ripped for. This is an interesting one because I think this should be flipped. I think Klay Thompson is going to get way more open looks. Total three-point shooting percentage over under 41.5% for Klay and 43% for Steph Curry. Yes, Steph Curry is the better three-point shooter. We know that. However, game plans and scheming and how many open looks we can expect Klay Thompson to get in an offense that is going to be centered around Steph Curry and Kevin Durant is a good reason to choose Klay Thompson to shoot better from the field, or I should say at least shoot better from three than Steph Curry. He's also probably not going to be taking as many. Steph Curry tends to take more threes than Klay Thompson anyway, so there's a better chance he's going to get more open looks, which therefore would mean, hopefully, in this case, more three-point shots made, percentage-wise goes up. I think 43% is a remarkably high shooting percentage from three for a guy who's going to take over 500 of them in a season. So I think Klay's the guy that, again, the media in general, we all keep talking about Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, who is still kicking people, by the way. That one came out recently. It's not a crazy thing to think that Klay Thompson averages the most points on the team this year, that he gets the most looks. He has already accepted the fact before Kevin Durant was there that he wasn't the number one or at most times the number two talked about guy. He likes being the sidekick. He's accepted that. It's part of what makes him a great championship role player. But in an offense now added with Kevin Durant with that same mentality, he'll shoot, I think, better from three-point than Steph Curry will. But Steph Curry's still also going to shoot remarkably well from three still. Next prop bit we have the DAngelo Russell one. 17.5 points per game and over under 5 assists per game. Now, here's an interesting one. DAngelo Russell averaged about 5 assists per game last year. I know the numbers don't say that. However, if you watch DAngelo Russell and you watch the game film from last season, how many times DAngelo Russell hit open cutters, how many times the Lakers were unable to finish in the paint around the net off of a DAngelo Russell pass was staggering. So much so that he probably could have been averaging 7.5, 8.5 assists a game if his teammates were able to finish. Now that the team is better, Luke Walton's offensive system is being put in place, and I have a feeling that they're going to be able to score more efficiently than last year. 5 assists per game, I think, is the floor for DAngelo Russell this season. 5 assists per game is something that he should have been doing last year, but the team around him was not good enough. And not that DAngelo Russell is that unbelievable of a player. He is breakout prone this year, even though I still think he's 1 year away. It's the points per game that I'm concerned about. I think he'll average closer to 15 or 14 points a game and start to distribute more, especially if the Lakers are to be a successful team. They're going to need DAngelo Russell to be a point guard, not a shooting guard. They have a good one in Jordan Clarkson. They already picked up Brandon Ingram, who's going to get a lot of usage time this season, even though if he starts behind Luol Deng. They have Julius Randle. Their scoring threats are in place. DAngelo Russell's job is not to necessarily be scoring. It should be running the offense, scheming, making the pick and rolls happen. And if his team can finish at the net, he won't have to score nearly as much as he did last year. I think over 5 assists is one of the best locks you can make for the NBA this year, of course, barring health. Is that the last one?
Nah, fuck that.
You're
young,
under?
Under 5 assists. Are you kidding me? I'm young DAngelo Russell. Are you kidding me? I am the new Kobe. Kobe who? Pass me the rock.
They have Brandon Ingram. He's the new
I don't
Kobe.
care. Especially if I'm young DAngelo Russell, who is like slated to take over the team from here. I would be the most selfish player because, like, what are you gonna, you know what I mean? At least I'm not taking as many shots as Kobe.
Yeah,
did.
but here's the thing. I love that take. However, Luke Walton ain't gonna let it happen.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's the big one. Like under Byron Scott's system,
Yeah.
under Byron Scott's whatever you want to insert here as a word, because system was far from what he ran. It could have happened because he was fine with the Kobe show. Luke Walton doesn't seem like that type of coach, and we don't know that much about his head coaching ability because he was running the Warriors last year. I get that they had the undefeated stretch for the first month and a half of NBA season, but looking at what Luke Walton is taking over, a young system he can build around the pieces he has, you want to expect DAngelo Russell to get those assist numbers up. Again, if they finished at the net last year like they should have, him and Moutier both should have had higher assist numbers than they did.
Hey, by the way, I don't think DAngelo Russell is the new Kobe. It's Marcelo Huertas.
Yeah, no, okay.
Yeah.
Next. Marcelo Huertas. Lastly, the trade rumors, because the Philadelphia 76ers are a team that are going to be centered around trade rumors for pretty much up until the deadline, if not before. Second, got to point out something. Ben Simmons finally got a timetable. Seems like end of January is his return, which is basically what we were saying on TYT Sports not that long ago. Jahlil Okafor getting traded during the season. Both of these guys, Jahlil seems like is yes at plus 160, 8-5. No, 4-9, minus 225. You're not making any money if you think Jahlil Okafor is not getting traded. Nerlens Noel is worse odds. The reason I pointed this one out, there's no benefit to betting on this. However, I found it interesting because if any of these guys to get traded, it's Okafor. Nerlens Noel could be out for, God knows, 3 to 5 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, depending on the surgery that somehow arose on the Twitter sphere. It just came out of nowhere. People were like, and then all of a sudden the reports in the news feed was Nerlens Noel to undergo microscopic surgery. Anytime that the surgery is very convoluted and trying to be covered up, usually it's worse than it is. If they're very open about it and the surgery was very successful, they give you a day by day. It's just a PR team doing their job of letting the world know, no, we're not trying to cover anything up. I think Nerlens Noel's surgery is worse than people think it is, just because of the news that leaked. It seemed like they were hiding it. So I don't think he's going anywhere because I don't think a team is going to even want to bet on the fact that he's going to be healthy when he gets back on the court. Jahlil Okafor, on the other hand, is a guy, a back-to-the-basket scorer, I think just needs either a revitalized coaching system, maybe the Celtics. I hate saying the Celtics, the Thunder, as the only two teams in the entire NBA right now that want to make trades. Any team is open to trades if the trade offer is good. But the Celtics seem to be interested in Jahlil Okafor. With Jared Sullinger going down, look for the Raptors to be active. Not down, but he's going to be out for about a month, I think a month and a half, which is a huge blow, I thought, because Sullinger was a majorly awesome pickup for Toronto this season. So they might be active at the trade deadline depending on how Sullinger's injury goes in his return. Those are your 5 prop bets. I love talking about NBA prop bets. They're really fun. The most interesting one is Tristan Thompson. The most important one, I think, goes to the Chicago Bulls and Dwayne Wade. That's going to be an interesting storyline. There are a lot of great narratives to follow this NBA season. It is not just Golden State Warriors and Cleveland Cavaliers basketball, even though those two teams are going to be in the finals. We have another clip coming for you tomorrow. We're going to shoot it tomorrow. I'm not sure when it's going to go up, at least regarding some other great narratives like some Raptors, some Washington Wizards with Scotty Brooks, maybe some more Jimmy Butler Bulls talk, stuff like that. Leave in the comment section below what you want us to talk about in the NBA anyway, and we'll be back tomorrow with more.